Hello, we're period 3, table 3, and our members are Alan, Narit, Ada, Sienna, and then we're talking about photosynthesis first.
The equation for photosynthesis is carbon dioxide plus water, and it's converted with light to glucose and oxygen. This is the diagram for the chloroplast. This is thylakoid. Inside thylakoid space, and one is granum, and the multiple is grana. And this is thylakoid membrane, and inside is stroma, which is the fluid part.
Inside the thylakoid membrane, light-dependent reactions happen, where sunlight and water go into the reaction and create NADPH with ATP and oxygen as a byproduct. NADPH and ATP go into the Calvin cycle, which is inside the stroma. And therefore, with CO2's help, it creates glucose, which is a kind of sugar, ADP, and NADP+, which goes into the cycle, which continues on.
Summary of light dependent. Sunlight is observed and used with water to create ATP and NADPH with oxygen as a byproduct. The sunlight is converted to chemical energy that NADPH and ATP carry and used in the Calvin cycle or the light-independent reaction. The light-independent reaction happens in the thylakoid membrane. Light-dependent reaction equation. Water plus sunlight equals oxygen plus NADPH plus ATP.
Light-independent reaction. ATP and NADPH from the light-dependent reaction is used with carbon dioxide in the stroma, which create high-energy sugar called glucose. The equation of light-independent reaction is carbon dioxide plus ATP plus NADPH equals to glucose plus ADP plus NADP plus.
Cellular respiration, and this is the equation. Glucose plus oxygen is converted to carbon dioxide plus water and ATP energy. These are the 3 stages of the cellular respiration. In glycolysis, which is located in cytoplasm, converts glucose into 2 pyruvic acids, and then it produces ATP energy. And in the mitochondria, in the matrix, Krebs cycle takes place, and then it produces CO2 and energy. In the ETC, which is located in the intermembrane space, oxygen is required, and it produces water as byproducts and produces ATP.
Now let's talk about aerobic reactions. Glycolysis is an anaerobic reaction, but pyruvic acid made in glycolysis is used during the Krebs cycle. First, in the Krebs cycle, it takes place inside the mitochondria, the matrix of the mitochondria. The pyruvate molecules are broken down, releasing CO2 as a product. It creates another 2 ATP and charges up more electron carriers, NADH and FADH2. Also, the carbon broken down from pyruvate molecules are combined with acetyl-CoA to make citric acid. Now, we're going into the electron transport chain. The electron transport chain occurs on the inner membrane of the mitochondria. This is the main energy producing step where it creates the most ATP. The charged up electron carriers from Krebs cycle, NADH and FADH2, from the first 2 stages drop off their high energy electrons. As these electrons are passed down in a chain of protons, their energy is used to pump hydrogen ions across the membrane. This builds up a powerful gradient, and the hydrogen ions then flow back through a special enzyme called ATP synthase. This flow causes it to spin and generates massive amount of ATP, about 32 or 34.
Summary of this text is basically glycolysis makes ATP without oxygen. Fermentation happens with no oxygen is around. There are 2 types, alcoholic and fermentation and lactic acid fermentation. Both recycle NAD+, so glycolysis can keep going. Lactic acid builds up in muscles during short bursts of energy. For longer exercises, cells need more normal respiration. Done.